Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Wednesday, the 16th of June 2021. So Bitcoin, black gold and break-evens bounce as retail sales slump and sink stocks. The US macro surprise index fell to its lowest since May 2020. So that's really the only news, apart from, of course, tonight we have the FOMC market minutes, and that's what the market's waiting for at the moment. They're waiting for Powell to speak later at 7:30 p.m. This evening. They want to know if he's going to mention anything to do with tapering interest rates or how he sees things going. It's the only thing that's going to move the markets at the moment because they're currently sideways, and in the case of the Dow, sideways to lower and in the doldrums. So they need Powell to say something to either spike the markets back to the upside. Otherwise, if he's going to taper, there'll be a shakeout and then it brought back. And then what you'll see is the market do this like it did last time, if he does decide to taper. And if not, then it's the same old, isn't it? We get a run back and then the market will just trade sideways until they wait till the next FOMC or non-farm payroll, etc. and CPI figures. So the Dow sideways yesterday, but down on the open, if I can just find the chart. Yesterday, prices moving lower. And then just drag the chart over. So you can see from the open, once again, we see prices moving to the downside. And this is a consistent picture that we'll see. In fact, given a chance, I might actually pull all of this data and actually look at how many times the Dow actually opens and moves lower within the first hour each month, because it's a great pattern. It's a great way to trade as well, because it always drops a couple of 100 points. We then see a double bottom here before prices recover. That's the other thing. You have to wait for an hour and then the market generally bounces as well. It seems to be the same theme. Overnight, prices are sideways. They're heading back towards the close and trying to get up towards the DP level there as well. But like I say, this morning, you might get a bit of a move, but to the upside, but prices are likely to be sideways unless there's some other news that's released ahead of the FOMC. Something's leaked, but otherwise that's the state of the Dow at the moment, where we're stuck in this sideways range and at 38%. So it needs to turn around and move to the upside, but it needs news to do that, because obviously it's very weak and it's moved lower waiting for the news, unless it's a small pullback to give the opportunity. But I think what's happening with the Dow, if I just go back, this pattern where we see the market sell off at the open. In fact, if we go to a bigger time frame like the 30-minute there, you can see prices selling off. You see prices selling off. You see prices selling off. This is a news item. Prices rally, but then they switch and sell off. Here again, there'll be news on this day as well, but the first half an hour prices drop and they then bring it back, and then it comes back, and you'll see this pattern. There you go, down, further down on this one, then it's brought back by the plunge protection team, down. So this pattern of selling off at the open is quite simple, really. Is that the market is being ramped up by the pajama traders in the pre-market session, in the electronic session. And then what's happening is the market opens, because they've inflated the prices or managed to move prices higher in the stocks. The pros are then coming in and selling their stocks at a higher price. And then once the initial selling is over, the market finds stability, which is what you see all the time with the Dow. Or most of the time, you can't say all of the time, because obviously if there's a news item, then they'll take advantage of that and bring the market up to begin with, and then they'll bring it down. So again, it gives them the opportunity to then sell a bit higher. So it's if they can't move the market in the pre-market, they'll move it with the good news from the economic news item, moves the prices higher, and then they can sell into that as well. Now you will get the odd occasion that we've seen, well, it's not actually the odd occasion, many times, where there has been a technical glitch at the open, and the market, they've had to shut down the exchange, and that's because they've received a massive sell order, and if they allowed it to go through, to the rest of the world to see, then it would cause further selling in the market. But it's a very interesting pattern and one worth documenting, and I'll try and do this so we can pull up some data and then put it into a spreadsheet and graphic and see what how many times this actually occurs. So moving back to the DAX, I got distracted there, which is very easy for me. We can see yesterday that the DAX really quiet, but then again it's waiting, isn't it? There's the all-time high, market sideways. They're the downside targets. Again, it'll be the same for the DAX as it is for the Dow. Expect the market to be quiet this morning. The 30-minute chart's an interesting picture here because you've got the DAX doing the opposite, and this is probably in part due to the pajama traders with the Dow futures moving the markets to the upside. So this time we had a bit of a move to the down, and then it's moved up again, shaken out and then moved up. So again, all of these patterns are very interesting. They're down, up, and then it's sold off into, but you'll probably find that they are going to be news items or news driven as well. So let's have a look a bit closer to yesterday's trading. There wasn't a lot to report, to be honest, because the market was sideways. We took off initially, then we pulled back, and then we put in a double top across this level before prices retraced, and then just traded sideways, and then eventually broke to the upside. And then mid-morning we see some selling coming in, get the retracement, and then we start to make our way back. Struggle with the 200 MA there once it's broken, you can see that there, and then trade sideways below the 200 MA, and then back to the 20 bar where it fails, and then in the afternoon we just see the market drifting lower until we get a retracement here, and then it starts to move to the upside, but really quiet. So the metals, to have a look at these. We'll start off with the dollar. This is the daily chart. Yesterday, the dollar started to move to the downside. Silver still being moved and having pressure to the downside. But again, not a lot happening. Market waiting for the Fed just in case they have a surprise announcement for the interest rates. Yesterday, we saw the market come off the lows again at that 27.50. Shaking just below this, back to Friday's low from following the what news item did we have last Friday? I can't remember. It was the jobs numbers, wasn't it? And then finding support at this level and then bouncing off this. Too many news items, and sleeping in between makes it difficult to remember everything these days. Right, we've got 62, 78, 89. It'll be interesting to see how the metals markets respond, but actually it will be obviously opposite to whatever the dollar will do when they hear Powell speak. Gold also trying to hold, looking a bit weaker than silver. Silver looks stronger at the moment, certainly because we're way below Friday's low for the gold market there. And then overnight, again, you can see that silver yesterday, there's the low that it put in. You see them buying back, and then they've brought the market back on the overnight as well. And if you go down to, I haven't got a smaller time frame, I'm going to look at a smaller one, but we haven't got it. So yeah, that's the state of silver in a bigger time frame there. So we'll just see what happens later on today. So expect it to be quiet this morning and this afternoon, and then become really quiet an hour or 2 hours before Powell speaks. Okay, with that, enjoy the sunshine, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.